I wanted it all. Said I need patience, I told him wait, answer the call. Born for this since I was chosen to fall. The young and they always wanted to see fall. Do it, I'm moving, just pat me the ball. Living unfiltered, my life is too raw. Passing the bar like I'm studying law. They'll know my name by the time that I'm gone. See, I worked for this, they knew I had dedication. Manifest prayer and daily meditation. It took me time, I had no problem waiting. I was just sitting there, don't let it take. I had to take a basic fundamental, only when I made it. I don't really gotta say it. When I told him I was pacing, all my life I had to do it. It don't mean no delegation. I remember all the days when I was hungry, when I'm facing the rise of a champion, chasing the glory. I hear the chants in the crowd, they adore me. I feel the beast inside of me dormant, about to unleash in all of its forces. Putting in the time, then I wait for the moment. They cannot question my heart of devotion. I'ma take a time bomb, ready for explosion. But silent making moves, set my plan up in the motion. Witness the rise. I go to battle with them, and my skill is something that cannot be denied. Rise. They want me dead or in prison. See, I got the will in me, I will survive. Rise. Want us to give up and fold. I cannot obey, no, I will not oblige. Rise. Came from the ashes of hell. They know it is futile. Why did they try? Rise. I'm beyond, I'm the one they all fear, the one for destruction they cause when they're gone. The one here to save him, it won't be long. When you hear getting ready, better ring that gong. Don't stop trying to put him in a box and a lock with a weave that's a permanent knot. I won't crash out, go until I pass out. I will never die knowing I was in the background. Only one shot, I won't back down. Background, yeah, I'm on the path now. Hit him any minute with a shot, they know I'm tagged out. Way too independent, I ain't never need a handout. I'ma keep on going till I know it, I'ma stand out. They ain't take me serious, I was just a class clown. Now I'm in the place when the race too fast out. Cause I put in hours, blood, sweat, tears paid out. Now they want time, making sure they all pay now. Witness the rise.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to my show. Welcome. I am your boy, Niners Sickness. Real quick, before we get started, what kind of draft was this? This was the most worst draft ever. Fire Kyle. Fire John Lynch. Fire everybody. Hit the panic alarm. Let's get out of here. Let's stop being Niner fans. We're going to talk about that on Let's Talk Niners right after this.
And he runs out across the 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone! It is intercepted! The 49ers have the football! Touchdown! He's into the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers! San Francisco!
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Is it time to panic? Let me know, guys. Is it time to panic? Is it time to panic? I don't know. Let's go, Niner faithful. Welcome, everyone. Let's go ahead and start welcoming Niners Throwback in the house. What's up, Niners Throwback? Welcome. Yes, make sure to hit and subscribe. Let's go, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to say hi, say hello on the chat. I apologize for my birds. I start talking, they start talking. I don't talk, and they don't talk. So excuse my birds in the background. We're going to talk 49er football. We're going to talk about should we panic or not. Should the Niners panic? Everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their opinion on what they should do, right? The Niners did not draft well. The Niners did not take the right player. Fire Kyle Shanahan. Fire John Lynch. This is the things that we're hearing. Fire Jed York. Because the Niners did not take a player that we wanted. Now, have the Niners made mistakes in the past? Absolutely. Have they been players that did not work out for the 49ers? Absolutely. I'm not going to say they have. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Give me a second real quick. Get rid of this wannabe Chinese commercial. Whether you agree with the draft pick or not, that is totally up to you. Listen, as a 49er fan, you have the right to your opinion. You have the right to your opinion. You have the right to feel the way you feel. If you don't like the pick, express it. Let everybody know you don't like the pick. Let people know that that was a stupid pick. Let people know that John or Kyle made a mistake in your opinion. That's fine. You're a faithful. You're a fan. You should be able to express how you feel. But the moment that we step into that we know better than John and Kyle, maybe you do, but we're not in their position. They're the ones that are getting paid by Jed York, not us. Now, it's okay to express your opinion. It's okay to say how you feel because you go to the games, you buy the gear, and you support the team. Your opinion matters to you, but not to the San Francisco 49ers, at least not when it comes to making decisions for the team. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to be honest with you guys. Our opinions don't matter to John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan. The consensus that are out there for the media and for those that consider themselves experts in mock drafts are not the same consensus that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan use in the war room. Again, you are entitled to express how you feel. You don't like a pick? I don't like that pick. Why did they take a running back again in the third round? That is okay. You are expressing how you feel, and you are entitled to do so. But John and Kyle, honestly, and it's going to sound harsh, but don't care about your opinion or mine. They have people they pay to scout these players. They have people they pay to give them advice. They're not listening to the consensus of the media or TikTok. They're not. So if you want to express how you feel, that's fine. But they're not going to listen. Let me say hi real quick. Sorry. Let me say hi to Tiffany. What's up, Tiffany? How you doing, girl? Welcome. Daniel Burry Sports in the house. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Hey, Beto, long time no chat. How are you doing? My friend Brent, how are you doing? Long time no see. Welcome to the channel. I much appreciate it. Real quick, guys, if you notice, I created my new logo. That is my new logo that I created. Let me know your thoughts upon the logo. Thumbs up or thumbs down when it comes to the logo. Let me know, guys. I would appreciate that. So, we're going to talk about the players the Niners drafted, and we're going to talk about the players that the Niners signed as undrafted free agents. And we're going to be honest about these picks because the reality is nobody truly knows how these players will turn out until 2 to 3 years from now. Now, I know there's a track history in the past that may say that picking a running back in the third round it's not a good idea. But every player is different. Yes, the Niners have struck out and taken a player in the third or fourth round. But that should not be a reason why you shouldn't take another running back if you truly think that the running back that is available is your guy. Again, the Niners don't go based on history or your consensus or the consensus of TikTok, Twitter, X, Facebook, mine, yours. They go based on what they think is best for the team. What's up, 49er Minded? I am driving, so I can't type, but go Niners. Right on. Be safe on the road, my friend. Good to see you there, Bashar. I don't listen to all that reaching nonsense. If a player works out and if it's a good player, don't matter where he is drafted. If he plays well for the Niners, I'm happy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Completely agree. I agree with that statement. I really do. I agree with that statement because at the end of the day, guys, is the player going to make the team better or not? And again, just because we take a running back again in the third round doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a bust, because the previous running backs have been. Now, he could, and he can join the rest of those running backs. Or maybe, just maybe, he can be an outlier. Maybe he can be an outlier and make this team better. Just maybe he becomes a touchdown for this team. Just maybe. Just maybe. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for charming in. Thank you for stepping in. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. We got David McNiner in the house. What's up, David? How you doing, sir? Welcome, welcome. Beto, what is good, buddy? I have a stepping stool so I don't reach. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Shots fired!
Shots fired, baby. Shots fired. Listen, guys. It's all good. It's all good. Our opinions matter. I don't want to feel like your opinion doesn't matter. I don't want to say that just because you don't like a draft pick or you don't like what the Niners did, it doesn't matter. It should matter to you. Feel your conviction. If you're like, the Niners should not taking a running back, that's okay. That's okay. That's how you feel. Go on Twitter and text what you feel. If you think a player that was taken shouldn't have been taken at that spot, but maybe much later, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But let's be honest, guys. I never understood. I really never understood the whole thing about the Niners reached for this player. The Niners should have waited. Why did the Niners take a receiver of this caliber with the very first pick of the 2026 second round pick at 33? He would have been there at the end of 2. He would have been there in round 3, maybe round 4. What were the Niners doing? Why are they reaching? See, this is the things that we say as fans. Just because these so-called experts, they do the mock drafts and the consensus says this particular player will be available in the third round doesn't make it true. Players start moving up in the draft. There are a bunch of chatter going along amongst football teams that media is not aware of. And they hear these chatters. Maybe the Niners heard this receiver is being coveted by other teams. Maybe he won't be available by the end of the second round. Maybe he won't be there by 58. It is so easy to say that a player will be there because the consensus says so, or because people that make mock drafts says so. The question is this: when the Niners select a player as a fan, we should be like, this player better work out. I don't care where he's taken. I don't care if the Niners had to use those Fantastic Four, a guy with the arms that stretch all the way around the world to reach for a player. I don't care. I really don't. What's up, Daniel Cantu? I really don't. Is the player going to make this team better? Is the player going to make this team better? That is the question we should be really concerned about. Not should they should have taken Cooper from Indiana, or they should have taken Denzel Boston, who I like, by the way, out of Washington. Or was it Washington? I forgot where he played. I apologize. Why did they take Deshaun Sterling? If the guy balls out, if the guy comes in and helps us stretch the field, if he helps us get third down, if he helps us block so that McCaffrey can do his job and run the ball, doesn't matter that we took him first pick in the second round. It shouldn't. It absolutely should not matter where a player's taken unless he sucks. If he doesn't come in here and help and make this team better, look, we took some players where we think they should have been taken, if not us, other teams, and they are trash. They don't work out. There are players that they get signed undrafted, free agents, and they become Hall of Famers. That is just the truth. So it doesn't matter where we draft a player, guys. What should matter is, will they help this team to get better? Can they learn quickly, stay healthy, and help us get to where we want to go, which is a Super Bowl? That's what should matter. Again, you are entitled to your opinion. You can say if you like a player or you don't. You can express that the wrong player was taken instead of this player. You can have your favorite player. Nothing wrong with that. You are entitled because you are a fan, just like me and a lot of people. But to say that Kyle or John don't know what they're doing is incorrect. Now, have they failed? Absolutely. Have they made critical mistakes? Yes. But to say they don't want to win, because that's what I'm hearing. That's the chatter that I'm hearing. They don't want to win. They don't care about this team no more. How can we say that? Last year, we had everybody hurt. And we won 13 games. Did we not? With every player hurt, we won 13 games. That tells me this team wants to win. So the whole notion that they don't want to win is just ridiculous to me. What's up, Leo? Welcome to the channel. They were reaches for sure, but I liked our first four players. I like Prescott too. I've grown to like the other guys. See, I like that. Leo is expressing his feelings. He's letting us know that he feels that some of those picks were reaches, and he's entitled to that. But he's not bashing the team. Every player drafting, listen, just because we drafted a running back in the 3rd round, that's not his fault. That's not his fault that he was taken in the 3rd round by a team that has taken other running backs in the past and failed. This kid from Indiana is going to do everything he can within his power to come into this organization and make a mark. He's not worried about who was drafted here before him. He don't care about John Lynch and Kyle making mistakes and drafting running backs in the 3rd and they didn't work out. This kid from Indiana has one purpose and one purpose only: to make his mark in the NFL. He was drafted to the Niners. He's going to come here. Either he's going to be great, good, or he's going to suck. That's the reality. He's going to be great, good, or he's going to suck. But we won't know that until 2 to 3 years from now. So to judge these players on day 1 or day 2 or day 3 of the draft when they have not even touched the field is ludicrous. It is ludicrous. What's up, Gravy? My problem is 1st round picks should be a starter game 1. Is this pick a day 1 starter? Well, maybe that's why they didn't take him in the 1st round. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm not. And if I came out that way, I apologize. But they waited and moved out of the 1st round, maybe for that same reason. For that same reason, in your comment, the Niners said, you know what? This guy that we want to take probably is not going to start day 1. So let's go ahead and move out of the 1st round into the 2nd round and take him. It's a possibility. Reaching aside, I can't complain about getting players I like. There you go. There you go, bro. Hold on for a second. There you go, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. God bless you, bro. God bless you as well. Jesus Christ, my King. Yes, he is. He is our King. He is our Lord and Savior. And I would not be alive today if it wasn't for my Lord Jesus Christ, who saved me on the cross and died for my sins and was resurrected on the 3rd day. Listen, guys, I was paralyzed from my waist down for 10 years. Doctors told me I would never walk again. I'll be paralyzed from my waist down for the rest of my life. And for 10 years, I couldn't move anything. I'm walking now by the grace of God. So yes, I owe a lot to my Lord and Jesus Savior. Thank you there, my friend. I was so pissed watching the Niners fail to convert on 3rd and goal. That's Kamara's role. Okay, I think we're talking about some undrafted free agents that we haven't talked about yet. Into TD, he has a real role. 3rd down, power back. Oh, okay. We'll talk about the undrafted in a minute. Let me just get through some of these points out of here. Let's see here. And welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. You guys are awesome. What's up, Cam? We wasted another draft, in my opinion. And again, it's your opinion, and you are entitled to it. Whether we agree with it or not, it is your opinion. And as a fan, each and every one of us are entitled to our opinion. We didn't fill out needs under Kyle and John. We will not win 6. You know, that's hard to say. Other teams got better. We know the Rams did not get better. Let's be honest. They took a quarterback. Now, in 2 or 3 years from now, maybe the Rams will be kicking our butts with Ty Simpson. But this year, nope. Nope. I don't know what the Rams were thinking. But I'm glad they took him with the 13 overall pick. Walking miracle, yes, sir. And it's all because of him. All because of the blood of Jesus, brother. And I will never, ever, I'd rather lose followers and I'd rather people not watch my show than deny my Lord and Savior. But that's just me. Peace and blessings to everyone in the chat. Right on, brother. Right on. In gold until I'm earth food. Red and gold until I'm dead and cold. Listen, guys, let's talk about these players. Oops, get at it. Let's talk about these draft pick players that we took. All right, here we go. The very first pick in the 2026 draft in round 2, the Niners selected Deshaun Sturby, second round pick 33. How good will this player be? How good will this player be? Only time will tell. All I know is in the chat room, in the chatter box, amongst NFL teams. Oh, real quick, before I even proceed, I did not get the opportunity to create my own pictures of the players. So I want to give credit where credit is due. For the ones that are drafted by the Niners, these were created by 49er Media. I want to give 49er Media the credit for creating these. I did not create them. I did not have an opportunity to do so because I was doing other things. So credit to 49er Media for making the drafted ones, and then for the undrafted free agents that I'm going to bring up, that's going to be my boy, John Chapman from Rush, 49er Rush Media. They're the developers of these, so I just want to give them credit. I never want to take credit from another person's work. But, so let's talk about our first pick. What does he bring to the table? Physicality, speed. He's able to block very well. He's kind of your replacement for Jauan Jennings. Hold on, guys. I got to learn not to spit so much. He's your replacement for Jauan Jennings. He's your replacement for Jauan Jennings. Hopefully he can come in, he can learn from Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Ricky Pearsall, and the rest of the guys. I would like to see him on the field this year. And I know a lot of times 49ers fans, and I've done it myself, we give Kyle a hard time for not starting rookies. But I come to realize if the rookies do not impress Kyle in practice, they're not going to play. Unless players get hurt and he has no choice. But if this kid can come in and start impressing Kyle in practice, I could see him getting a lot of snaps in this year's. So in 2 to 3 years, we're going to find out what this kid is made of. All I want is for him to come in here, learn from Mike Evans, get those first downs, stretch the field, and then when we're at the red zone and your name is called, catch the ball. This guy has not dropped a lot of balls in his career. So he's kind of the opposite of Jauan Jennings when it comes to that. Now, he was taken. A lot of us say he was a reach. A lot of us say he could have been there in the third round. We don't know that. We really don't. Just because the consensus or just because TikTok or X says so doesn't make it true. The Niners took him, they fell in love with him, and they took him. All I want now is for him to work out and be that player that we hope he could be. This guy, I'm excited about. This kid, I'm excited. With the second pick in the third round at number 70, and they moved down. They moved out of the 58 in the second round to the third round and got Romello Height out of Texas Tech. Red Raiders. The Red Raiders. What I've seen from this kid, I've been watching film yesterday on him. And then I watch games because sometimes the highlights can be deceiving. So I like to watch the film on this kid, and I like to watch the actual games to kind of see what he's doing when his name is not being highlighted by the announcers. Is he blocking? What is he doing? Is he being overpowered? Is he getting penetration, but the quarterback just happened to throw a ball a little quicker? I want to see what his work regimen is during games, not just the highlights. And I like a lot of what I see about this kid. Now, this kid he is underrated when it comes to stopping the run. He can stop the run. The thing is, that's not going to be his job here in San Francisco. He's not going to be asked to stop the run. He's not an every down player. He could be, but he won't be. You got Mikael Williams and Nick Bosa as your starters. This kid is going to come in as a rotational piece. He's going to pin his ears back, and he's going to rush the quarterback. He's going to take over for Huff. He's going to be, his job, man, he's going to go after the quarterback in the NASCAR package. Imagine Nick Bosa, Osa Digizua, Mikael Williams, and this kid, Romello Heights, all going after the quarterback on a 3rd and long. Let's go. Let's go. Bring that pressure. We only had 20 sacks. And I know a lot of us, we get excited about sacks. I like sacks too, but I am more about pressures. I love pressures. I want them to finish and I want them to get a sack. Yes, but I am about pressures. Can you pressure the quarterback? Can you bring havoc? Can you make the quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket? Can you make the quarterback hear footsteps? You're not going to be able to sack a quarterback each and every time. But if you're in his face, if you are disrupting what that quarterback wants to do, he's going to have you in his head. By being a disruptor, you're going to get into that quarterback's head. And he's going to make mistakes that your secondary or linebackers can catch up on. So even though I love sacks, I am more about pressures. Can you pressure the quarterback? Can you get him uncomfortable? And this kid, to me, is going to be able to do it. So I'm super excited about this kid. Now, this is a controversial player here. This kid here is a controversial pick because of the history, right? Because of the history, the 49ers have drafted players in the 3rd round, in the 4th round that have not worked out. And now a lot of Niner fans are not even going to give this kid an opportunity. Joe Williams, pick number 121 out of the 4th round. He did not even see the field. Trey Sermon, pick 102 in the 3rd round. Tyron Davis Price, I don't know if I said his first name right or wrong. Pick number 93 in the 3rd round. Did not work out. Isaac Guerrero, pick 129 in the 4th round. It looks like he's not going to work out either. And now we took Kalon Black at pick 190 in the 3rd round. And I know a lot of Niner fans are not happy with this pick because of the failure of other players. But do you think this kid cares? This kid coming from Indiana, do you think he cares that Price did not work out? Do you think he cares that all these other running backs they got chosen by Kyle did not work out? He don't care none of that. You know what he cares about? Coming in here and making a statement. All this kid cares about, can I go in there and make my mark? I'm going to go in there, do whatever I can to show the 49ers they made the right choice with me. Was it a reach? A lot of people say so. Maybe it was. But if the Niners feel convicted on this player and took him, which they did, me as a fan, all I can do now is wish him the best and hope this kid balls out. I want him to touch the field. I want him to back up Christian McCaffrey. I want this kid to take away plays from Christian because we work Christian too hard. Now, he didn't have that many catch receptions in Indiana, but it's not because he can't catch the ball well. Indiana had a lot of good receivers. Cooper, Strat, and other tight ends. So he did not get the opportunity to catch the ball out of the backfield. He's going to get that opportunity here in San Francisco. Let's give him a chance, guys. It's not his fault that Kyle has messed up on the previous running backs. It's not his fault. And I know a lot of Niner fans are going to be hard on him because of the past history. This kid is unique and he is completely different from the other running backs. Now, only time will tell. Will he join the other running backs list and not being good and being a failure? Or will he be an outlier and be a damn good running back for your San Francisco 49ers? That's what we have to wait and see. What's up, David Corona? Welcome. It won't happen. CMC gets overused again. Now, he does. Absolutely gets overused quite a bit. I get it. But I just think it happens because the Niners, Kyle Shanahan runs the offense a certain way when Christian McCaffrey is in the game. If this kid can come in and do the same, now I'm not saying he's going to be Christian McCaffrey, but if he can come in and handle his own, maybe Kyle says, you know what? I can run some of these plays that I run with CMC with this kid Black. So I'm going to put this kid in more often. And now we get to see more snaps taken away from Christian and keep him healthy. The only way that Christian McCaffrey gets less snaps is if this kid can come in and showcase his ability and play well. It's going to be up to Keon Black to take away snaps from CMC. Can he do it? I don't know, but I hope so. Because if he's taking away snaps from CMC, not only is CMC getting rest and not being overused, It means this kid is special. And I hope that comes to fruition. But I don't know. Yep. I don't care either. Black is a great third round down power back. We'll never get stuffed on the goal line again. I like that. I like that attitude, Leo. I seen this kid play, especially against the. I seen him playing against Miami, a very good defense. I can't think of other defense that he's played in the championship. Come on, this kid can run. Now, I'm not going to be unfair to this kid and punish him just because Kyle has made some bad choices. Well, I wouldn't even say bad choices. Just because the players that Kyle chose haven't worked out. I'll give Kyle blame. But I'm not going to discredit this kid because of the history in the past. I'm going to give this kid an opportunity to impress me or to make me feel like, here we go again, another bust. But maybe, just maybe, he impresses the heck out of all of us. That is true, bro. That is a mystery that only Kyle can answer. I'm with you. Maybe this kid will change some of that mentality from Kyle. But I hear you. I hear you, bro. Loud and clear. What's up, my brother? From a different mother. How you doing, sir? Luis, how you doing, brother? What's up, Beto? Glad to see you back. Thank you. Thank you. I've been gone for a minute. I've been doing some things, but thank you for saying that. Much appreciated. Thank you for the love, brother. I think James is going to be the one to rotate with CMC, and Black is going to be a situational short yard back. I agree. I love James from Oregon. I think that kid's going to be, he showed a lot in the playoffs. We might just have our 1, 2, and 3. Time will tell. Yeah, I know what you meant, brother. Our offense is predictable. It can be, but Kyle can make some. Kyle just needs the right pieces and the right time to be creative. Creativity, it's all about the players you have on the field and if they can do what you're asking them to do. Listen, I am not over Ricky Purcell. I think Ricky Purcell is the real deal. I think this kid will be special. I like him. He just got to find a way to work on his body and not get hurt. The problem with Ricky, and I could be the only one thinking this, let me know in the chats if you agree or disagree. The only problem with Ricky, in my opinion, is inability to stay healthy on the field. If he can fix that, maybe talk to Jerry Rice, get some pointers, and stay healthy, I think Ricky is going to be a hell of a player. He's shown a lot of potential. I think this kid can do what we want him to do. He just needs to stay healthy. That's a big if, but hopefully he can do it. What's up, Brad? What's up, Beto? As the draft was happening, I was pretty disappointed. But after looking more into these guys, I'm starting to come around. Let's go Niners. And see, I respect that. Sometimes we watch a player get drafted. Maybe we don't know too much about the player. Maybe we do. And we feel a certain way. And it's okay. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching on this, but your opinion matters. Everybody's opinion matters. But it should matter to themselves, not to nobody else. My opinions matter to me and only me. Maybe you guys agree with me. Maybe you don't. All of our opinions matter, but it should matter to ourselves, not to anybody else. And sometimes we want our opinions to matter to others, and we feel disrespected when it doesn't. And that's when we get ourselves into problems. Seattle defense is just a hell of a defense. And we didn't have all our personnel either. We'll find out more this year about Seattle. I feel comfortable that the Niners offense can compete with Seattle's defense if they're healthy. And the addition of Mike Evans is going to change that. Bringing Mike Evans in is going to change how Kyle runs the offense against Seattle's defense. That, him alone, is going to make a difference. And then you bring Christian Kirk. We're going to see a different offense in 2026. Just watch. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Right on. Yeah, they're big ifs, but isn't every draft pick a crapshoot? Let's be honest. Every freaking draft pick, whether you pick number 1 overall or you pick Brock Purdy with the very last pick of the draft, every draft is a crapshoot. Either you get a very good player, like a Hall of Famer, you get a decent, serviceable player throughout his career, or you get a bust. But only time will tell. But to tell that he's going to be a bust as soon as they get drafted because we don't like that particular player, it's crazy. We got to give these kids a chance to prove themselves in the NFL, or to prove you guys right if you don't like them. But we got to give them an opportunity to do so. Now, see, I can't totally agree with that. I get it. These young fan base have not seen the Niners lift up a Lombardi trophy. I am spoiled. I am 55, going to be 56 this year. I'm an old fart, but get that out of the way. I got to see all 5 Super Bowls. I know, well, actually, I got to see all the Super Bowls played now, but I got to see all 8 Super Bowls. We won 5. I enjoyed the heck out of those 5 wins. I loved the parades. I loved everything that came with it. And I wasn't too happy with the 3 losses. So I get it. These young 49er fans, they want to experience what you and I experienced back in the 80s and 90s. I get it. And they should. And they should, excuse me. And they deserve to do. They deserve it. They deserve to have that feeling. But let's be honest. The Niners have been in the playoffs a lot. The Niners have been in 2 Super Bowls under Kyle and John Lynch. Did the Niners win? No. And that sucks. But we were in 2 Super Bowls. And I know we don't care about the Cowboys. At least I don't. The Cowboys have not even made the NFC Championship game since VHS was out. At least Niner fans can say, we got to see our team in the Super Bowl. Now, would it have been better if they won? Absolutely. But you can still say my team was in the Super Bowl, not once, not twice, but 3 times if you go back with the Harbaugh days. If not, then 2 times. That's still, to me, a privilege. Would it have been better if they would have won the Super Bowl and then you got to go to the parade in San Francisco? Absolutely. And I really believe that Kyle and John can still do it. Every player that was hurt last year, and we made it to the playoffs. Come on, guys. We made it to the playoffs. We won 13 games. I don't care if we had an easy schedule or not. When you have teams that are hurt, when you have a team that's hurt and has players that are not playing so well because of the injuries, that easy schedule is not so easy after all. And the Niners won 13 games. So let's give credit where credit is due. What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe? How you doing, sir? Welcome. So let's talk about our next player on the board. This guy I'm excited about. I'm excited about this guy. I'm excited about this kid. I know we drafted CJ West. See, last year, listen, guys, last year, we drafted players that can stop the run. We drafted players to stop the run. That is an area that we really were hurting in. So we drafted Alfred Collins, Mikael Williams, CJ West. Those guys are primarily run stoppers. They can develop into pass rushing. Maybe CJ West a little bit sooner than the other two. We needed players to stop the run, and the Niners drafted those last year. This year, they did the complete opposite. The complete opposite. They drafted players to get after the quarterback. Romello Height and this kid, Grayson Holton, in the 4th round pick 107. This kid is going to be special. Oklahoma Sooner. He can stop the run. He's underrated against the run, but this guy can stop the run if you need him to. But this guy can go after the quarterback. Imagine him and Osa Digizua in the inside. Mikael Williams and Bosa on the outside. Ooh-wee! It's going to be fun to watch. This defense is going to be different. Let me tell you, this defense is going to be different this year. We drafted players that can stop the run. Now we drafted players that can rush the quarterback. And with a combination of that, good things are going to happen. We haven't won a Super Bowl since '94, you're right. But we have been to Super Bowls since '94. And again, for a lot of Niner fans, winning a Super Bowl is one thing. Making a Super Bowl is completely different. If you make the Super Bowl and you don't win, it doesn't matter. To me, it does matter. It matters that you made it there. That means you were a good team. You represented the NFC in that Super Bowl. And let's be real, guys. For those that don't like Kyle Shanahan, and I'm not saying anybody in here, but for those that don't like Kyle, they want to blame Kyle for losing Super Bowls. They want to blame Kyle for not winning the Super Bowl. Last Super Bowl that we were in 2023 against the Kansas City Chiefs, we were kicking their ass. We were kicking their butt. They couldn't move the ball. We were in complete control. What happened? Greenlaw was running in and got hurt. That was devastating to Fred Warner and that defense. It inflated that defense. Kelce cannot do nothing with a combination of Fred Warner and Greenlaw. Once Greenlaw went out, Travis Kelce did what he wanted. Christian McCaffrey fumbles the ball. Very rare does he do that, but he fumbled the ball. And then we had a mishap on special teams. And that turned the momentum. And we still were able to go into overtime and almost win the game if it wasn't for our right guard getting hurt, Feliciano getting hurt. And then because he got hurt, here comes Burford. Oh my God, I am so glad he's gone. To replace Feliciano. And he leaves their best defensive player untouched. Untouched. He penetrates, gets to Brock Purdy, and the rest is history. How in the world is all that Kyle Shanahan's fault? It's okay to hate if you don't like Kyle, don't like him. If you want him fired, root for him to get fired. That's fine. That's your opinion. That's your feelings. That's how you feel. But to say that we haven't won a Super Bowl because Kyle is not a good coach is stupid, in my humble opinion. Kyle has got us to 2 Super Bowls. Is it Kyle's fault that Jimmy Garoppolo overthrows Sanders to win the game? Is that Kyle's fault? That Jimmy can't be accurate enough to get the ball to Sanders? Come on now. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, through their drafting, through their coaching staff, got us to 2 Super Bowls. Did the outcome that we wanted happen? No. Does that mean the Niners sucked? No. Does that mean that Kyle and John suck? Absolutely not. And for those that think that they suck, that is your opinion. What's up, brother? You came on a different name, huh? Man, in my opinion, we had a great draft. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Listen, guy, listen. I'll be honest. I don't know if we had a great draft. And I don't know if we had a bad draft. What I do know is we added new players to this roster. I'm going to keep it 100% real. I don't know if we had a good draft. I don't know if we had a bad one. We added players to this roster. In 2 to 3 years from now, we will know whether we had a good draft, an okay draft, or, oh my God, terrible draft. And to credit, we had some bad draft picks. Yes, we have. John and Kyle have made their share of mistakes. Absolutely. Have they learned from it? I think so. Many of you guys will disagree because they took another running back in the 3rd round, but I think they've learned. But to assume that they don't want to win games because they don't pick the player you want is crazy. Burford lost it for us. Absolutely 49er minded. It wasn't Brock Purdy. It wasn't Kyle Shanahan. It was a collective situation that happened. Burford left I forgot their name of the player, the Kansas City player. Hell of a player too. He left them wide open. I mean, this guy can penetrate if you put 2 blockers on him. But you're going to leave their best defensive player open? What the bleep? What the beep? Right? But yet it's Kyle's fault. Yet it's John Lynch's fault. Did Solomon Thomas work out for us? No. Would I love to draft him? Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely. But that was the first year the Niners came in to the regime. Do I wish they would have did their due diligence better on quarterbacks? Absolutely. But Kyle, in his head, he had, I'm just starting out, my first time being a head coach. I'm going to bring my security blanket in Kirk Cousins. Whether you agree with him or not, I believe that was Kyle's thought process. This is my first time as a head coach. I want to make a mark. I want to bring in my guy, Kirk Cousins. It didn't come into fruition because Jimmy Garoppolo made them change course. But that was the guy that Kyle wanted. And should he looked at Deshaun Watson? Should he looked at Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely. I wish they did. But they were looking at defense. The Niners, from day one, whether you agree with them or not, from day one, they said everything starts within the trenches. Defensive line and offensive line. Now, I know. They haven't did that much work on the offensive line, per se, in the draft. But they have invested in the offensive line. Maybe not the way you want them to invest, but they have. But they have definitely invested in the defensive line. Do I wish they would have taken Patrick Mahomes? Maybe not Deshaun Watson after the whole ordeal. And Solomon Thomas was a failure. You know what? And I don't even think Solomon Thomas was truly a failure. I think he failed because he was drafted 3rd overall. And the expectations for him to produce were attached highly on him. I think if Solomon Thomas would have been taken in the bottom of the 1st round, maybe in the 2nd round, the pressure wouldn't have been as bad. He might have had a better career. But because he was taken 3rd overall, that was too much hype for him to live up to. What's up, Austin? I like that trade. I really do. I was not a big fan of D. Winters. The guy couldn't cover. The kid can't cover. He looked a lot to me like a deer in the headlights. Maybe it's just me. But to me, he looked like he was a deer in the headlights, trying to light. Everything was happening so fast for him. Everything was moving around so fast for him, and he looked out of place, in my opinion, based on the tape that I watched. And we turned a 6th round pick into a 5th round pick. Not bad. Not bad. I am glad the Greenlaw's back. Now he has to stay healthy. But I don't get to see D. Winters. And I didn't want D. Winters in a rotational piece either. The fact that the Cowboys and Jerry Dum Jones fell in love with him, I wish him the best though. I'm not hating on D. Winters. I wish him the best. And if his career takes off and makes us regret it, so be it. But do it in Dallas. Don't do it here. I just didn't like his play. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, or I should jump off a bridge. We have a good roster, though. See, that's the thing. Do we have an aging roster? Yes. But that's why you add depth, to replace those aging roster later on. Chris Jones. Thank you, Leo. Yeah. How in the world are you going to leave Chris Jones untouched in one of the biggest plays in the Super Bowl? Freaking Burford, man. How do you explain that to me, Leo? How do you leave Chris Jones untouched straight to your quarterback? Unbelievable. And yet, we want to blame Kyle and John for losing that Super Bowl. Okay, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But I don't agree with it. Yep, there it is. There it is. Let me see here. Hold on. Where is it? I haven't used these in a minute.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
And I have another one. There it is.
Booyah!
Booyah. I love that. That is right there. Burford left the best defensive tackle in the league unblocked. And yet we have the audacity. We have the audacity to put the blame on Kyle. That is ludicrous to me. Yeah. Deshaun Watson won, I think, 2 championships with Crimson, or one championship or 2. I don't remember. He was a better prospect. Patrick Mahomes was okay in college, but he wasn't all that. He became better, obviously, in the NFL. But they still should have looked. The Niners still should have looked into these possible candidates. But the fact that they didn't even bother looking because they had their game plan, and I get it. I do get it. I wish they would have looked into them, but I get it. They had their game plan, and they were sticking with it, and it is what it is. Let's see here. Make sure I don't miss some of these. I think D looked good when he was next to the best. The thing is, maybe when he was next to Fred Warner, but I need somebody that can be good when Fred Warner's not there. Now, I haven't gone through my things. I'm going to start speeding up because I want to go watch my Lakers finish off the Houston Rockets. And please, don't be cruel and tell me the score. Don't tell me the score of the Lakers and Houston. If you do, you do. But do not, because I'm going to watch it and I don't want to know who's winning. I want to see it for myself. Something about knowing the score kind of take things out. Now, I don't know why I wanted them to beat out Houston that fast. They're going to probably get destroyed by Oklahoma. But go Lakers anyway. I'm a realist, though. I love my Lakers, but I'm a realist. Do we have a chance against Oklahoma? Yes. Can we beat them? Even with Luka and Austin Reeves? I don't know. David, my brother from a different mother. How you doing, sir? What up, my Niner family and my carnal sickness? Happy to see you are on tonight. Good to see you keep the show coming. We missed you. Niners for life. I'm a photographer and I used to be a professional wedding photographer, videographer. I don't do it professionally no more. I still do it out of a hobby, and I've been doing that a lot with my cameras. I don't know if you can see behind me. it's kind of blurry because I have this the lens set to blurry, the depth of field, but because of the lens that I'm using a 1.4. For those that know, you know. But I've been doing a lot of photography and videography, so I haven't had a chance to come live. But I wanted to come on because I keep hearing and listening to all these haters, and they're Niner fans. It's like the Niners can do no right. Damn if they do, damn if they don't. And it's just crazy, man. Are the Niners perfect? No. Is John Lynch and Kyle perfect? Absolutely not. But they got us to 2 Super Bowls. Did they win it? No. But they got us there. And when you get to the Super Bowl, you have a 50-50 to win. Tell the Cowboy fans or Charger fans or Saints fans or whatever team, the Jets, what are their chances of winning the Super Bowl when they can't make it? I'm just saying. Okay. That's, you know what, Leo? That's a fair point. That is
Bravo!
a fair.
Correctamundo.
That's a fair point. I'm giving Burford a lot of crap, but I can't imagine having to come in because the starting guard gets hurt. You got to face. Now, it was still Burford's mistake. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It was his mistake. I mean, the kid, Chris Jones, came untouched. But I get it, Leo. Thank you for pointing that out, bro. Thank you for pointing that out. You're right. I can't imagine how he felt. One of the biggest moments of his career, with millions and millions of people watching all over the world. And he shit the bed. I know I've done it. And I've done it with less people watching. So, hey, thank you, Leo, for bringing humbleness. Thank you for bringing humility to me against Burford. Was he still wrong by leaving him open? Yes. But I got to slow my roll. Not these rolls, but my roll on giving him a hard time. Thank you for bringing that point, my brother. What's up, Rick? Diaz is in the house. Good to see you. Let me real quick. Oops. Let me move this guy and let's talk about our next pick. A lot of you guys wanted a lineman. A lot of you guys wanted a lineman. The Niners took a tackle that will be converted to guard in the NFL by taking Carver Willis in the 4th round, pick 127. That is the pick. Will he? You know what? Call me crazy. You know where I can see this kid playing? Crazy. And I can see this guy being helping out with in a center role. Being part of the rotation in the center and probably taking over for our weak center that we have. Let me know in the comments. Can you see Carver Willis potentially playing the center in our line than guard? Let me know. And if we put him at guard, maybe we move one of the free agents that we brought in to center. I'm curious to know your thoughts. You've been in Chicago. How cold is it in Chicago? I bet it's cold over there. But welcome back, Rick. Welcome back, brother. Yep. Anybody that says they knew Mahomes was going to be who Mahomes is today is really lying, in my humble opinion. Did we think he was going to suck? Probably not. But to be the quarterback right behind Tom Brady, in a sense, no. Patrick Mahomes, whether you like the Kansas City Chiefs or not, is pretty heck of a player, man. And again, maybe just because I'm old. I'm in my 50s, going to be 60 soon. So maybe my perspective in things is different. I hate losing Super Bowls. I want to win Super Bowls. But let's give credit where credit is due. We lost to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. A loss is still a loss. I get it. But if you love football, truly love football, there is a mutual respect to losing to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. People say, well, the Rams went to the Super Bowl and they won. That was our year, by the way. If our safety, which I refuse to mention his name, would have not dropped that ball that was coming by himself, we would have beaten the brakes off Cincinnati for the third time. But the Rams went, and who did the Rams play? A first-time quarterback in Joe Burrow, which is a good quarterback, but it was his first time in the Super Bowl, and an offensive line was terrible. And they barely managed to beat Cincinnati in that Super Bowl. And then fast forward, and maybe I sound like I'm making excuses. Maybe I sound like a crybaby, whatever. I'm just making some points. Seattle goes to the Super Bowl with that defense and plays against the Patriots. Not the Tom Brady Patriots. Not the, I forgot the name of the coach. Patriots. But they played against the cheating coach that is there now. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. I apologize for saying what I said. That's his personal business. But anyway, him and a second year or first year quarterback. When we went to the Super Bowl, we played against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And we were in control of both of those games until late. And because certain things happened against us, we lost. Now, a loss is a loss. There's no victory. There's no trophies for second place. I get it. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. I like that. If you're talking about Oklahoma, I love your comment, but yeah, I don't know if I can agree with that. What's up, Kenny? How you doing, sir? Give me a second. Welcome, welcome. If they got us there, Beto, but we didn't win, the Niners should have won 3 Super Bowls already. Yeah, we can't forget about the Harbaugh one either. How are you going to, when you have, oh my God, maybe because I've been talking for over an hour now. When you have Frank Gore in your backfield, how are you going to throw it to Crabtree? How are you going to make that call to throw it Roman, to throw it to Crabtree, when you have arguably one of the best running backs to play football in Frank Gore? But yet we want to, blame coaches. Now, that was a coach. Now there, I can blame John Harbaugh for making that call or for allowing Roman to make that call because he could have vetoed that call, in my opinion. So there, I can blame Harbaugh. But Kyle, maybe it's Kyle's fault that he did not run fast enough, laid on the floor, so then when Greenlaw went running out, Greenlaw would have fell on top of Kyle. Yeah. Or maybe it's Kyle's fault for not blocking Chris Jones when Burford was daydreaming. Now, I'm not saying that Kyle and John don't deserve blame. They do. They absolutely do. I'm saying it's not entirely their fault. Talk about Curtis Rourke. I'm excited to see him play in this year's preseason. Because, let's be honest, Mac Jones is going to be gone in 2027. So if this kid, Curtis Rourke, is the real deal, hopefully he can bring confidence knowing that he's going to be backing up Brock Purdy. So I'm excited to see what this kid can show in preseason. I'll be rooting for him. Absolutely. Make sure I don't read some of these over again. Mahomes got to come in and learn from veteran Alex Smith. Yep. This is where I like that they took Ty Simpson for the Rams because they needed a player now. So from that perspective, I like that they took him because Ram fans are sitting there wishing they would have taken a Payne or one of those defensive players or offensive tackles or whatever, but they went ahead and took a quarterback. But on the other hand, to this point here that Leo's making, T.Y. Simpson is going into a better situation than Fernando Mendoza. Because even though Kirk Cousins is there with the Raiders, and Kirk Cousins will start, but because they drafted Fernando Mendoza with the first overall, the minute that Kirk Cousins begins to pee on himself, they're going to be chanting, Mendoza, Mendoza. And they're going to bring that kid in, possibly, and ruin him. Now, T.Y. Simpson is going into a way better situation. Sucks for us, but good for the kid. He's going under Sean McVay. Whether you like him or not, he's a hell of a coach, and he's going to learn from Matthew Stafford. The difference between Kirk and Stafford is if Stafford makes mistakes, they're not going to take him out based on his resume. They're going to keep him in there. So T.Y. Simpson is going to continue to learn. With the Raiders, if Kirk shits the bed, he will be yanked out and they're going to force in Fernando Mendoza. I think in the long run, the Rams made the right choice. I don't like that because they're in our division, but I believe they made the right choice on that. They had a good draft though. You know who had a good draft too? The Cardinals. What they do with it though, it's a completely. But I like their head coach there in Arizona. I forgot his name, but he comes from the family. I think he's a brother of the coach over there in Green Bay that comes from the McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan umbrella. I know who he is. I just can't think of his name. The coach of Arizona. But I think they drafted well. I love the kid Love, Jeremiah Love from the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame. I think that kid is special. I think that kid's he reminds me so much of Christian McCaffrey coming out of Stanford. He definitely was the best player offensively in the draft. And kudos to Arizona for having the cojones to pull the trigger on him. And I hear it too. I hear a lot of Cardinal fans upset that they took Jeremiah Love. I mean, some fans cannot be satisfied. A lot of 49er fans, a lot of other fan bases, they just won't be satisfied. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yep, that's a very good point. Boy, I am behind in my comments. I think the Rams should be upset that they took, for the Rams that want to see another Super Bowl before Matthew Stafford retires, they should be pissed off that they took a quarterback in this year's draft. I get it, why they did it, because it's a business. Now, I think Sean McVay was upset about the pick because Sean McVay, coaches, they want to win now. Coaches don't really think about the future that much. They want to win now. Give me a player that can win now. General managers, if they are good general managers, are thinking about winning now and looking into the future. And I think Snead is a hell of a manager. He's a good manager. And I think he made the right choice. Well, is it going to plan out? I don't know. But it is what it is. But I think a lot of Rams fans are pissed off. And they should be. They should be. Because you want to win now. They're a team that can win it all in 2026. I know Niner fans don't want to hear that. But it's the truth. I love my Niners. I got them tattooed right here. I got a tattooed right here. But I love football. And I'm a realist. I'm not one of those guys that hates the Rams and hates Seattle because they are individuals. Do I want them to win? No. Do I want the Niners to win? Absolutely. But I'm not going to hate on a team because they drafted well. If they draft well, I'm going to give them kudos. If they draft bad, based on how it looks in 2 to 3 years, I'll give them shit. But I'm going to keep it honest because I love football in general. Love my Niners. I just love football in general. So I have no problem saying the Rams might have found a gem in T.Y. Simpson, especially because he's going to learn from McVay and Matthew Stafford. Now, can T.Y. Simpson take advantage of that and reward the Rams? We're going to have to wait and see on that. But the fact that they make that pick, I got to give it to the Rams. I'm going to move down. I may skip some of these draft picks. Moving kind of slow here. I'm proud of on how they did for all the starters. Was it yet? 13 games, baby. 13 games with a lot of injured players. The lone wolf is in the house. They took 2 tackles. Yes, they did. And they took this guy. Let me finish up real quick. Oops. Now we got a tall corner. Ooh, they drafted a tall corner. I thought when I seen this kid get drafted by the Niners, I thought Seattle was drafting. I go, is this Seattle? I go, no, it's us. I'm being sarcastic there, but we don't usually draft tall corners. I like this kid. Ephesians, like the Bible. I wonder if he got that from the Bible. I don't know. But I seen this kid play in Washington pretty good. Let's see here. Let's move on a little quickly. Then we go and get a replacement for D. Winters. We trade D. Winters to the Cowboys for a 5th round. And then we take Jaden Duggar, linebacker from Louisiana, in the 5th round with pick 154. Now, this kid can play on the outside, a stand-up pass rusher, but he was moved into the middle. This kid coming out of college of late, he plays the position that Fred Warner plays. Now, is he going to replace Fred Warner? Maybe. Is he going to compete for Fred Warner's job? No. Okay, so let's get that out of our minds. There's no way this kid's going to even challenge Fred Warner. But if Fred Warner, God forbid, like he did last year, has to miss plays, this kid can come in. And I didn't set it up, but if you look at the stats of Fred Warner coming out of BYU in 2018, and then you look at the stats of Jaden Duggar coming out of Louisiana, they're very, very close to one another. Now, am I saying that he's going to be Fred Warner? No. But can he be a good linebacker? Could at least, you know what? Listen, I don't even care if he's as good as Fred Warner. He just needs to be better than D. Winters. Is that fair to say? If he comes in and plays better than D. Winters, then we have a win, in my humble opinion. Yep. And that's the whole thing about the draft. Either you win some or you lose some. Yes, it is. It definitely is faster than, and it's going to be faster than last year. All right, our last pick. And I'm going to go through the undrafted free agents pretty fast because of the time constraint that I have now. Our last pick, and I like this kid. I really do. Who remembers another player on our offensive line that went to that school? Who went to Kansas? Real quick. We drafted Enrique Cruz Jr., defensive tackle, 5th round, 179. Now, I got myself confused. I apologize. Earlier, I said that Carver Willis might be and play for the center position. That is completely wrong. My mistake. The guy that I was referring that could be a center is this kid, not Carver. I think Carver Willis will fight for that left guard position. The kid that I was referring that could be center is this kid, Enrique Cruz Jr. So I apologize for that mistake in that statement that I made earlier. But I think this kid is going to be special out of Kansas. And he can reunite with Dominic Puni. Yep. And now that we have our new defensive coordinator who specializes in the secondary, I still have hope for Jair Brown. I know. Don't shoot at me. I don't like his coverage, but I think with our coach now, maybe he can get coached a little bit better. Am I a big fan of Jair Brown? No. Do I wish he gets better? Yes. Obviously, he's still on the team. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, they believe in him. They didn't draft a safety. And the safety that a lot of Niners wanted in the kid from Toledo was not only did the Niners pass on him when we took our receiver, but he was also available again at 58. And what did the Niners do? They decided to trade down. I believe it was the Browns they traded down with, and the Browns took him. So that tells you the Niners were not high on safety. Is that going to bite him in the butt? Only time will tell. But I think they're comfortable with Jair, Siegel, and Mustafa. Maybe they're bringing in a free agent. They freed up a lot of money. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. All right, so these are all the draft. These are the draft picks. Let's move on real quick to the undrafted picks. I'm going to go through these really fast. Thank you once again. Thank you to Niners Rush. For those that not watch my video in the beginning, I did not get a chance to put these together, so I used John Chapman's edited card or whatever you want to call this, and I used 49er Media earlier. So I want to give them credit. I believe in giving people credit and not stealing their stuff. So kudos to John from 49ers Rush. Mikhail Kamara, defensive end, pass rusher. We brought in punter, Jack Bowinister. Oh, I don't know if I messed that last name up. Longhorn. He's going to compete with the new kid that we brought in just to put fire on our punter. Then we got James Thompson Jr., defensive tackle, interior. I believe from Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, or Illinois. Then we got Willis Pauling, wide receiver. You know, we got to build that 90 roster, right? So then we brought in Khalil Dinkins, tight end, as a free agent. Then we brought in Wesley Grimes, wide receiver. We'll see how he turns out. Then we brought in Jalen Storman, safety. There we go. We brought in a safety, undrafted. We'll see how he works out. And then our final free agent, Bryson Eason, and I think this guy is the one from Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, defensive tackle. These are all free agents. Hopefully they plan out. I'm curious to see how they work out. Okay, I don't know too much about Kamara, and I believe he's a defensive end, right? Is he let me double check because I don't want to presume. Oop, let's see here. Doop, doop, doop. Which one is it? Oh, here we go. Okay, defensive end. I don't know too much about him, so maybe you can tell me a little bit, Leo. Is he a pure pass rusher? Is he an every down? How is he against the run? Tell me why, real quick, why you like this kid. Convince me. If you were his agent and you wanted me to take him on my team, convince me why you think he's a good player. Oh, okay. Valid point. Thank you, Leo. Interesting. So you like him too, huh? You like Kamara? Okay. I gotta look at tape at this kid. from Indiana. And I might have seen him but I was too busy looking at tape for a running back that I wasn't paying attention on the defense. Every time the defense went on the field, I forwarded it to the offense because I wanted to see plays from our running back. I may have to watch tape on the defensive side to see how this kid. Now, was he a starter or was he a rotational piece with Indiana? Okay, so another safety. I love it. Oh, okay. If you guys heard me earlier, I love, obviously, sacks, but I prefer a pass rusher that can bring pressure onto a quarterback. Now, if he can finish with a sack, kudos. But I want you to be a destroyer. I want you to penetrate. I want you to get into the quarterback's face. I want these defenders to make the quarterback play out of his mind, having to look at every corner of his eye because he doesn't know when he's going to get hit. That's the type of pressure that I like. I know a lot of Niner fans, a lot of fans in general, they prefer sacks, and so do I. But give me pressures. Because sometimes sacks can be misleading. Sometimes Bosa can turn around and pressure somebody. He runs the opposite side to Mikael Williams. Mikael Williams just happens to be there, and he sacks him, right? So who gets the sack? Mikael Williams. But who created the pressure? Nick Bosa. So that's why I pay more attention to pressures than sacks. Oh, he's 6'1". Real quick, Leo, I don't know if you know this, but did the linebacker, was he? Now I'm thinking, did he play for Indiana or did he play for the Red Raiders? You watch so much tape, you forget who's who. But there was a linebacker that I liked. I forgot his name. White boy with a mustache. Can't think of his name. I think he played for Texas Tech. Or he played for Miami. Oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm going on left field. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I've been on here for a minute. I'm going to go watch my Lakers beat Houston, and hopefully we don't get embarrassed by Oklahoma. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and hanging out with me this afternoon. Thank you so much. Please make sure to like the channel if you haven't liked it already. Hit the subscription if you haven't subscribed. Let your friends know about my video. Share my video. I would appreciate it. And I'm going to try to do more videos, no promise, but I'm going to try to get on here and try to do more videos. So thank you for watching, guys. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Go Niners, and always remain faithful.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.